one day, one step at a time. And it may be too soon to be saying this out loud, but I'm gonna be bold. I feel like I'm getting more done than I thought I would today, so that's great. I did good. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It is great to have you all here with me today. It is Tuesday. It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday because yesterday I went over to the house. I was doing some work, but I was also, because I was at the house, kind of treating it like one more day off, one more day of summer. So today starts the official countdown to the fall semester. So I did take, back in July, I did take a day to get some work done on my syllabus, get it up to the point that it needed to be to get it approved by my department for the 2 syllabi that I had to create. And then I fairly promptly put teaching work back on hold. And that's all good. That's okay. I'm allowed to do that. So it's Tuesday, August 13th, and the semester starts on Thursday, August 22nd. On Monday and Tuesday of next week, I have 2 meetings I have to attend on campus. Both of them are going to be like all morning, like 3-4 hours long. And I really want Wednesday next week, the day before classes start. Like, I don't want to still be doing class prep on Wednesday next week. That would just be a bad idea. I really want Wednesday next week to kind of just relax and relax. Like, I was gonna say relax and maybe do a little bit of this. I just want to relax one last day, because Monday and Tuesday are going to be a lot more full on than I have had in a while, and a lot more full on than the rest of the semester is going to be. So once I'm past the start of the semester, then Monday and Tuesday will just be work from home days. They'll be really chilled, really relaxed. And so Wednesday will also be a work from home day. So I'll have 3 days of just kind of working and relaxing at home, having easier work days, easier from a physical standpoint. And then Thursdays I'll go to campus. So yeah, that means that this week is when I've got all of the final prep to do. So I have my like main checklist in my notes app on my work laptop. I feel so overwhelmed because it just feels like there's a lot to do, but one day, one step at a time. That's what we're focusing on. I'm going to use my adorable new timer that I've been using. I have probably about 6 hours to work today, maybe a little less than 6 hours. My plan was to work from 9 to like 11:30, 11:45. So at 11:30 I'll see what I'm doing and start wrapping that up and finding a stopping place. And then I'll get up, go make some lunch, and be sitting down for lunch by noon. And then from noon to 1, relax. And then from 1 until 3:34 o'clock. So I'm thinking it'll be between 5 and 6 hours today that I'm going to work. I'm just doing teaching work today, so this is not going to be a book-related vlog. I feel like the next few vlogs are probably going to be very teaching focused while I get over this like hump of the start of the semester, and then it'll start getting varied and mixed up again. There's really not that much to update you on as far as the book is concerned. I haven't really made any progress since the last vlog. I didn't get any cover sketching done yesterday. I'm not going to do any today. My hope is that if I can take today and just spend like a good solid it'll definitely be a solid 4 hours with like an hour or so of like less focus work mixed in. But if I can get a good solid like 5 to 6 hours of a mix of busy work and focus work, which we've talked about before, the busy work is still important. If I can get a good solid 5 to 6 hours of just focused teaching prep done today, then I'm hoping Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week I can have like an hour of book work and then like 5 hours of teaching work on each day. And I still would really love, and this will be the next vlog, I would still really love if by the next vlog, because I'm planning on vlogging on Friday, I figured I'll vlog the start of this week and the end of this week, and we can see how much teaching prep work I can get done. Stay tuned to the next vlog for that. But I'm also hoping that by the end of this week, I will have the cover sketch, all the different elements completely sketched, everything scanned, and everything imported into Photoshop. Just stay tuned to the next vlog for that. Hopefully by the next vlog, there will be some big cover progress to discuss. But today I really am just wanting to focus on teaching work. I just want to get this done. And I would like to get the majority of it done this week so that next week everything is kind of ready. So what I'm focusing on this week, I'm not prepping the entire semester. I don't even know if that would be possible, so we're not even going to attempt that. I'm not prepping the whole semester. What I am prepping this week are definitely the first week, like everything I need for next week, but also I'm hoping to prep the week after that. So everything the students need for the first week, like finishing up the syllabi, finishing up my Canvas edits in my developmental shells, and then creating the individual Canvas shells and copying the material into each of those, getting all the deadlines corrected, making sure that that is right, getting at least the first few weeks of the schedule, like make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, just getting those first couple weeks prepped. And since we start on a Thursday, I might even try to like make it the first 3 weeks, like the first 2 full weeks after next week, having all of that prepped. So discussion board threads created, all the assignments they'll need, lesson plans for those 2 weeks, all of that stuff, so that then those 2 weeks I can be working on the next few weeks. And that's usually what I do. At the start of the semester, I prep the first couple weeks, and then during the first 2 weeks of the semester, I prep the next like 4 weeks. And then during those 4 weeks, I'm prepping the next like 6 weeks. So the amount of time I'm prepping gets bigger and bigger across the time until usually by then the middle of the semester, the rest of the semester is like fully set and ready to go, other than little things that I change as we go. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot I'm trying to do this week. And it's really just 4 days, but I'm trying to remind myself this week is still 4 days. It's like this day counts. Part of me wants to say it's only 3 days. It's just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because you took yesterday off. But no, it's 4 days. We're including today. It's only 9:23. I've got all day today. So yeah, my hope is that if I spend today just focusing on teaching work, I can see how much I get crossed off, how much work I can get done in one day, given how my brain is currently working, and then that'll give me a good idea of how the next 3 days after today will go. So get comfy, get cozy, hang out with me for a day of teaching work. I think I want to start on my syllabi first, and I'm also wanting to try to get I'm going to be working primarily on my 302 class because that has the least amount of work to be done. And if I can get my 302 class pretty much done by the end of today or middle of tomorrow, I will feel better about my 105 class. So yeah, we'll start with the 302 syllabi and take it from there.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness this could reach everyone, there'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away, standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere.
Okay. That can't be thunder. But that really sounded like thunder. Phone says isolated thunderstorms. Oh my gosh, that was not what I was expecting today. But I swear that was thunder. It looks like it's gotta be to the north because it looks clear down there. Yeah, it's definitely looking cloudy out there. I don't know how much rain I'll actually get, but it's definitely getting a little bit stormy out there. We'll see if it continues to develop, but that's exciting. That wasn't what I was expecting today. But yeah, it's going well. It's going really well. I keep feeling myself getting overwhelmed, and then I have to like talk myself down. There's just so many things to do. And some of them are big things and some of them are little things. Some of them don't have to be done right now. They're not part of what I need to be doing before the semester starts. They're things that can wait until like one of the days when I'm on campus doing office hours or something like that. It's okay, but I have got a lot of things done for my business writing class. The syllabus is pretty much done. Canvas, the developmental shell that I've been working in, is nearly done. I just want to do the first few discussion board posts for the first few weeks. So their first one, which is their introduction post, that one's done. But I'd like to get the next 3 after that, just so that I don't have to worry about those for a little bit. And then once that's done, then I can create my canvas shells. So the only thing left on my list for 302 for today, and honestly I think it's the only thing left. No, there is one. So there's a couple more things left as far as like what needs to be done. So in one section of my task list, I just have to create those next few discussion board posts and then request my canvas shells. So that I will definitely get done today. And then I also want to, I don't really lesson plan for the online class, but I have announcements that I post. So I want to get the announcements for the first 2 weeks done. So technically it'll be 5 announcements. There'll be 1 announcement that goes up the first day of classes, because I normally post them on Mondays and Fridays. Because we're starting on a Thursday, I'm not going to then post another one on the Friday. So the Thursday, and then the next Monday and Friday, and then the Monday and Friday after that. I have a rough version from like the last time I taught it, so I need to go through that, update the instructions, update the deadlines, that sort of thing. So I'm going to try to get that done. And then once the canvas shells have been created, and this might not happen today, I will need to go in there and just double check that all the deadlines are correct. If they're not, I'm gonna be annoyed because I've taken time to update all the deadlines in the developmental shell. So if they don't all copy over properly, I'm gonna be annoyed. So yeah, I think, and it may be too soon to be saying this out loud, but I'm gonna be bold. I think I'm gonna be pretty much ready for 302 by the end of today. I don't think what's left is going to take the whole day. So that would be really cool. Because 105 is the class that I am really kind of worried about. And with that one, I'm trying to remind myself that I don't have to solve everything this week. I just have to get these first couple weeks prepped. And then I can take the first couple weeks of the semester to like do more prep work. But it's going well. I'm staying calm. I've made some tea in my initial. I love this mug. I got this mug in 2015 when I was living in Oxford for the summer, and I needed a mug, and I wanted one that I would like want to take home with me. I didn't want to just buy a cheap mug that I would leave there. So I found this one at Marks and Spencer. It's got my initial in lowercase and in uppercase, making things as cozy and comfy as possible. But yeah, I'm hoping if I can get everything for 302 done, and if I can get that done by like 2:30, 3 o'clock, which would be ideal. I'm just thinking, I don't think it'll take me more than an hour, hour and a half to get the last of 302 stuff done and ready today. So if that happens, then I need to switch to reading this. I need to be reading this book a little bit every day this week. Like I need to be reading this book a lot every day this week. I need to try to get through. I've only read the first chapter, and there's 13 chapters, I think it was. 13 plus key takeaways. I need to be reading like 5 chapters a day if I'm gonna finish it by Friday. So yeah, I need to do a lot of reading in this book. The faster I get prep work done, the more time I can spend. It'll be work, but it'll be fun because it'll be reading. So the faster I get this stuff done, the sooner I can step away from the desk and go sit down and just read. But I do need a break right now. I have been working for long enough. It is 10 to noon, so I'd wanted to stop at around 11:45, so I'm a little bit over my schedule, because I want to take noon to 1 off. So I'm gonna go make some lunch really quick and then go sit down and relax for a little bit. We'll see if there's a storm that materializes. I heard thunder. I'm still not holding my breath for rain, but I did hear thunder. So yeah, I'm gonna go relax and just chill out for an hour, and then we will get back to work.
Had more of your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back at the desk. I made myself a cold brew latte, decaf, but it still helps. And I'm back trying to focus on work. There's really not much left that I really want. Like I feel like I'm getting more done than I thought I would today. So that's great. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. I'm trying to keep the stress levels down. But I could feel them rising a few times. So I am trying to, you know, stay on top of that and be mindful of that. But I have a list. I don't know if you'll really be able to see it, but I have a list here of all the things I want to fix and change. Notes and plans, my main checklist, things that need to be done by August 16th. That's this Friday. I've got things that need to be done by August 22nd, which is the first day of classes. I've got a checklist for English 302 online ×2. I've got a checklist for English 105 hybrid ×3. So that's not what I've worked on. My 302 online, I've only got 2 things left unchecked. 3 things, but when I do this one thing, I'll be able to check off the last thing that's nested under another task. So that'll all be good. But then my 1 of 5 checklist, I've created the developmental shell. That's the only thing I've checked off that. Then I've got new ideas to implement, and that's not really broken up. Some of them are for 302, some of them are for 105. As I'm coming up with new ideas and things, I'm adding them in there. And that some of these things are stuff I'll use throughout the semester, so they don't have to be done right now. Only one of them is one that needs to be done right now, and that's what I'm going to be working on. So I've got this long checklist in my notes app, and what happens when you start doing class prep like this is you start working on one task and then realize, oh, there's actually 3 other things I need to do in order to finish this one thing. And then you start working on those and realize, oh no, but then this one thing now has 2 other things I need to do. And you just keep remembering stuff that gets added to the task lists. I'm just adding them and trying to be mindful of, okay, what needs to be done today and what can just be added to the list and dealt with later, because it would be very easy to really run away with all the things that need to be done and then get really, really, really overwhelmed. So yeah, there's not that much left that needs to be done today. I've done really well today, so I do feel like I'm in a good position for the rest of the week. I think what I want to do is sort out the first few weekly discussion board prompts, get those created in Canvas, request my shells, then work on my announcements for the first few weeks, and then hopefully my shells get created relatively quickly. They are usually created almost instantly, but it is the week before classes start. I've put this off a little bit later than I probably should have. So they might take a little bit longer, so I can double check everything tomorrow or the next day if I need to. But yeah, I think those are the things I want to work on today. And then once those are done, I'll probably double check my list for 105 and what needs to be done for that and what I'll need to work on tomorrow. And then I'll spend the rest of the day reading this book. So it's about 1:15, so I'm doing good on time. I'm gonna set a timer for like 45. I was gonna do 30, then I thought no, 45, then I think no, 40, 35? How long do I think this will take me? I'm gonna set a timer for 35 minutes and see if I can spend only 35 minutes on this next step. I would love it if in an hour I could be done here and be switching to reading, but I'm not sure, so we'll see. Okay, I did good. I've done really well today. It's 3:06, so I have made excellent progress, and I think my business writing class is ready. That almost feels too easy. I think on Monday next week I can sit down and just go over everything one more time, or like on Friday this week if I get done with 105 sooner than expected, I can sit down and kind of go through everything. But it looks like everything copied over well, so I've created both canvas shells. They've copied over well. The deadlines all look correct. I'm sure a student will find something. Like, it's not perfect. There is absolutely 1000% something wrong in both of these. There's a deadline that I've put in wrong. There's an assignment sheet that's missing something. There's a broken link somewhere. Like, there's something wrong. There always is, no matter how much I think I have checked things. Something always slips through the net, and I get an email at some point in the semester saying, Dr. Severson, I could be wrong, but I think maybe there's something wrong with Canvas or this deadline or this assignment or whatever. They're always so sweet about it. But it's like, nope, you are absolutely right. That was a mistake. I thought I caught that before the semester started, but thank you. So I know it's not perfect, but I think the majority of it is done, and that feels really good. That means that if I got this much work done on this class in one day, in the next 3 days, I should be able to get more work done in the other class. So the problem with the other class is everything is a lot more scattered. I haven't taught it before, so I'm combining elements of 2 other classes to form this one. I have a lot. I'm starting from much farther back in the process with my 105 classes. If I can get caught up to where 302 was at the beginning of today, I can get caught up to a similar place with 105 by Friday, then I know that on Friday I can get it the rest of the way over the finish line or over the start line. We're nowhere near the finish line. The finish line of prep. I feel good. I needed today. I knew that this whole week was gonna hinge on how today went. Because if today was a train wreck, it was gonna be really hard to manage things for the rest of the week. But I feel like I'm good. Like tomorrow and Thursday are both complete work from home days, I think. I don't think I have any appointments. Yeah, tomorrow and Thursday. I've got an errand I want to try to run on Thursday, but otherwise I'm not doing anything on tomorrow or Thursday. So it'll be just like today, where I've got the whole day stretching in front of me to get work done. So hopefully in the next vlog, I will have made a lot of progress. And I'll be almost done and ready for the semester. That would be lovely. And hopefully tomorrow I can also start doing some more book work. Again, I think tomorrow and Thursday, if I can fit in just like 30 to 40 minutes of sketching each day, the book cover is going to be ready to be scanned by Friday. So yeah, stay tuned. I feel like this week's vlogs are part 1 and part 2 of like just the same vlog in a way. So stay tuned to Wednesday for part 2. See how the rest of this week goes. So I have a couple books, a few books that I'm reading, 2 that I'm like properly reading, 1 that has to be read sooner than the others. So my kind of start of semester reading list. First, I need for 105, for my 105 class, although also for my 302, I need to go back through and review the textbooks. Just remind myself of the different chapters. I've been switching up assignments, so it might change when certain chapters are read. So this is my textbook for 105, and I need to get out my textbook for 302. And this is my textbook for 302. I have used this one for a few years now. I think I started with the 8th edition and now I'm on to the 9th edition. And I have used the 4th edition of Successful Writing at Work by Philip C. Collin pretty much since I started teaching business writing. This has just been like, it's the best book, and it's priced really well, and it's available in multiple formats. So yeah, so those are my textbooks. But then some fun books, hopefully fun books, that I'm introducing. First is Belonging, The Science of Creating Connection and Bridging Divides. This is the common read for my writing program this year. This is by Jeffrey L. Cohen. Not every first year comp class is going to be reading it. We are allowed to opt out. I've opted in. So I am one of many who are going to be reading this and discussing it with my students. And then, that's something to do. Have I added this? I need to add a note for tomorrow. Add common read info to syllabus. Add common read info to Canvas. I'll need to add something in both places. So yeah, we're not going to be discussing this until October, I think, is when I currently have it in the syllabus. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, October 3rd, I think, is when we're discussing it. So I've told them to finish reading it by October 1st, but I'm also deciding I'm still deciding if I want them to read the whole book. Like, I need to read the whole book. And then I could decide if I want them to read the whole book or if there's just a few chapters I want them to read. So I'm still figuring out all that, but to do that, I need to read it myself. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then the other book, I'm probably going to have this as a recommended reading, is Rhetoric, A Very Short Introduction. These are by Oxford University Press. I showed this in one of my England travel trip hauls. This was in the books and stationery hall. So I want to start flipping through this. I'd like to find some way of incorporating this into the class. So it might be a recommended reading, but not a required reading, and I might do an extra credit assignment based around this. So I'll probably start reading this one next week, but I need to try to finish this one this week. So that is what I'm going to.
I want slow love, uncomplicated touch, stable as we go, consistent as we grow. I want slow love, no need to rush. I'll say it in my dreams, strange as it may seem. I reminisce the codependence, the games that we play.
All right, I think I'm done for the day. And that reading this took me a little bit longer, so a little bit longer than I had wanted. It's 5:30. I think at the start of this vlog I said I wanted to be done working by like 4. Yeah, that didn't happen. That's okay. It's still been very relaxing. I thought about stopping at 5, but I was trying to get one more chapter read. So I think I'd read chapter 1. So I read chapters 2, 3, and 4 today. And so I'm up to chapter 5. I've put a few little page flags in here. So basically I figured out where the acknowledgements and like endnotes started, because I don't need to read those. And then I figured out where I had finished. So I was at chapter 2. And so I basically just took this amount of pages and divided it in half, and then divided each half in half again to get 4 roughly equal sections. But it's very interesting. He talks about what he calls situation crafting, so that our sense of belonging often is tied to the situations that we're in. That if we're in a situation that creates an in versus out, inclusive versus exclusive kind of feel, us versus them, that situation will lead to a decrease in a sense of belonging. Whereas if we're in a situation that fosters a sense of belonging and community. It creates that in the self. The last line of the back of the book description is, belonging is essential for managers, educators, parents, administrators, caregivers, and everyone who wants those around them to thrive. So I think it's been interesting. Just, I'm already thinking about like, how does this relate to me in the classroom? But I'm really curious like what my students are going to think about it. He's talked a little bit about social media, but not a lot, and I'm kind of wondering if that will become, if he'll touch on that more later, like because I'd love to know like how can social media be used to create. So the last chapter looks like it's how we can all create belongings. I'm wondering if like social media can be part of that. But then again, he is an older guy who probably doesn't use social media. That might be a different book entirely. But I just feel like, you know, with my students, it's such a social media generation. Like, I feel like millennials are fairly like embedded with our social media. But Gen Z, and coming after them, Gen Alpha, like, we're never going to get rid of social media. But like, we really need to start learning how to use social media more positively, how to create a better relationship with social media, and how to use social media more positively. Because like, I see so many examples of how social media is a complete hellscape, and it's responsible for so many horrors in the world these days. But yet, social media is how I have this lovely community with all of you lovely and amazing people. Social media is how I met my best friend and soul sister, Tamsin. Like, social media is how I keep in contact with friends who, you know, it's like you don't always think to send them a text, but you see a picture that they've posted and it's right there for you to interact with in between when you send them a more personal text message or email or pick up the phone and make a phone call. So like, social media can be so beneficial for creating a sense of belonging and community. And like, I've experienced that. So yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting. I'm nowhere near halfway through. I've read this much. The book goes, I guess I'm not halfway through, but like, if we take out the notes and acknowledgments, I'm about a third of the way through the book. Today has felt very, very productive. I need to remind myself that if tomorrow isn't as productive, that's okay. That's okay. Tomorrow doesn't have to be as productive as today has been, but I do think I feel like, just predicting things, I feel like tomorrow isn't going to feel as productive. I feel like tomorrow is going to be one of those days where it feels like I haven't gotten any work done. But I think tomorrow I'm gonna get a lot of little things done that maybe doesn't quite check off stuff off a list. Although I feel like, looking at my task list, there are some little things that I can get done. So like, I feel like tomorrow is probably gonna be like one of those days where I just managed to get the schedule narrowed down, or I just managed to get things roughly put into the developmental shell for Canvas. But like, the syllabus won't be finished and Canvas won't be finished, but they'll both be within striking distance of finishing by the end of tomorrow, if that makes sense. That's what I'm hoping. So yeah, I think tomorrow will be a day where it feels like I'm not getting much done, but I'll actually get more done than I think I will. Anyway, come back to the next vlog and I will update you all on how Wednesday and Thursday went. I had an Amazon order arrive. I've got one more order coming on Thursday, and that should be the last of like the back to school purchases I've made. So the next vlog should also have a back to school haul in it. After these vlogs this week, then you'll have all of the back on campus vlogs, which is kind of exciting to think about vlogging on campus again. It's been a while. been a few months. It's been a good day. I'm not ready exactly to be back to work, but it has felt good working on this stuff, and doing the class prep is making me excited for meeting my students and working with a new batch of students. I think they're all going to be really lovely, because they usually are. And like, I know I'm going to be tired at the meetings next week, but I'm also looking forward to seeing people who I haven't seen since May? Very, very end of April. I think like April, or was it May? Was it May? No, I think it was May. I think it was like May 6th or something. No, it would have been May 5th. It was just a few days before I left for England. We had a thing on campus in the department that I went to. So like, it's been since early May since I've seen some of the people. It's been even longer since I've seen others. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll all be good. And start of the fall semester, like, we're getting ever closer to September, which means we're getting close to putting up fall decorations and getting things a little bit more autumnal in here, which I'm looking forward to. Like, there's a lot to look forward to, so I'm excited about that. And as much as I love my nice quiet summers, hibernating in my apartment, doing my writing and working on my books, I also really do love teaching, and I like being on campus. I think I would be looking forward to teaching and being back on campus more if it wasn't still over 100 degrees outside. That is the one thing that I am truly dreading. Like, I'm not dreading being back in the classroom and working with my students, but I am dreading walking across campus to my classroom when it's like 107 degrees out. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to think about that. Focusing on the things that I am looking forward to and not the things that I'm not looking forward to. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, all of that great stuff. I'd really appreciate it. Say hi in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you are entering into back to school season. Have you already gone back to school? All of the primary and secondary schools in the Valley have gone back. And like, when I was at Target yesterday, the back to school section is completely ransacked and is very depleted. There wasn't a whole lot left. So like, for the lower grades, for below university, back to school is like done. Like, they are in school now. They're not going back, they're back. So I do think my university is the last in the Valley to start. But I think like in the Midwest and the East Coast, you all don't go back until like September. So where are we all at in back to school? Do you have kids who are going back to school? Are you going back to school? Are you a student? Are you a teacher? Let me know, those of you who are swept up in back to school season, where exactly are you at with that? And yeah, I don't have any other questions, so you can share your memories of back to school season if you're no longer doing that, no longer participating in that. Do you still get that feeling of back to school season even though it no longer applies to you? I'd love to know. I think this will always feel like back to school season, even when I'm no longer working in education. Like, it's just ingrained in my brain at this point. So yeah, let me know, and you can leave me some teaching related, teacher or Blackboard or Apple teaching related emojis. I think there's a schoolhouse emoji, to let me know which one of you lovely people have made it all the way to the end of this vlog. And I am gonna go now, go relax for the rest of the day or the evening. It's 5:45. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm going, and I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye.